So you join me on a gorgeous Saturday in Cornwall. I figured I'd take advantage of this good weather, as rare as it is, and we'd take a little route out, maybe see some Cornish villages and out through some nice trails. So come along. One of the things I love about Cornwall is that there's so many bridleways and pathways. It's so rural that you're not always locked into running around cars and other people. You really can escape. So I'm currently making my way down the Pentewan Valley Trail, which is kind of a probably 10k or more of trail that links St Austell to the little fishing village of, you've guessed it, Pentewan. It's one of those classic little seaside Cornish villages, so maybe we'll pop in there on the way back. The locals use this for like your dog walking, and us runners use it quite a lot. It's just a really nice place to come. If you're on a holiday, you can jump in any one of the little campsites actually, or even the caravan parks that back onto the trail itself. The big bonus here, of course, is the fact it's reasonably flat, which makes it accessible to everyone, including kids. Most of it's flat and, I say tarmac, kind of compact gravel really. But there's some more technical and difficult sections if you fancy maybe taking a bike off-road or doing a bit of, trail running. And it's kept reasonably well maintained by the local councils. Oh, finally, a little bit of shade. The weather's been so bad here for so long that now we've got a bit of hot weather. It feels like torture to run in it. Just need to adapt to it all over again, assuming it hangs around. One of the real challenges with Cornwall is it's so hilly. And if you come running here on, say, a holiday and used to running somewhere like London, it can come as somewhat of a shock. You are really hard pushed to go anywhere without encountering some sort of steep hill, especially here on the trails. I mean, there are a few places in the county where they convert like old railway lines and things into trails. They're quite good, but you don't get to see the sights. I had to stop for a second, just listen. As exciting as I find city life, I'll tell you now, I don't think I'd trade that for anything. When people think of Cornwall, I think they think it's all rolling hillsides and gorgeous landscapes. And to be honest, they're right. If you look, there's a caravan site up there. I mean, that's not a bad view from the campsite, is it? Oh, one of the advantages of running uphill, I suppose you could argue, is you get to run back down them. But I actually find running downhill is harder on my body than going back up. I might need to rethink that statement. Oh, final leg to Mevagissey. So we've just arrived at the little fishing port of Mevagissey. Mevagissey is one of the few fishing ports that still function as such in the country, really. They're becoming a rare breed. It's a beautiful place to visit on a day like today and well worth the miles. If you're ever looking at property in Cornwall and you think relatively kind of normal looking houses like this have got horrendous price tags, well, it's because the view from their upstairs windows looks like this. You can do the math on that one. So that was Mevagissey. Next up is Pentewan. Thankfully, we get to take the coastpath there, and it is absolutely beautiful along this section. I mean, just any point I could stop talking and turn the camera. Oh yeah. I grew up here, so maybe I've become a bit immune to touristy Cornwall, the gift shops and the attractions, but you can never become immune to that. These are landscapes that have inspired people to do great things, artists to paint pictures and explorers to quite literally go to the ends of the earth. It is a privilege to live here, but the best part is this is free. You don't need to spend a penny. We're less than 5 minutes walk from Mevagissey Harbour. You could park up and come and experience some of the greatest landscapes, in my opinion, anywhere on the planet. I mean, all right, I probably am pretty biased about these things, but just saying is all. If you're ever on the news and you're wondering why they talk about being so careful on our coast paths, this is the edge of our coast path. And that's the drop. You would not want to fall off that. You can see behind me, that's the hill we just ran down. I wasn't lying when it said that Cornwall is bloody hilly, especially on the coast path. It's well worth it though. Plus you're never on your own. I've come across a few sort of holiday makers out walking the trails today, and a couple of times I've come across them on pretty good views, but it's a real privilege as a local someone who grew up here to be able to show them where the really cool views are. As it happens, sort of place we've just been. Ooh, bramble. So now we come into sort of what I call real Pentewan, which is the village itself. Beautiful little village. Great place to bring the kids, not so busy. Just off the holiday park. It's a good place to come and have a cold pint in the pub or get something nice to eat. But the star of this is it's got its own beach, sort of separate from the main one. This is where the locals will bring their kids to play, rather than get kind of caught up in all the hustle and bustle of the holiday makers. If you look up here, you can see the hills we came down earlier. But we have got to go up over that one. We're just going to start heading our way back down the Pentewan trail now. And if you do decide to come this way, you don't even have to bring your own bike. There's actually a cycle hire in Pentewan village. The prices are reasonable and the bikes are kept well maintained. They're nice people. They didn't even pay me to say that. If you are going to be running on hot days like this, it might be worth making sure you've got water and something to eat with you, because it is horrific, especially on the coast paths. I've also got like basic first aid stuff in my pack, because if you have a slip on one of those sort of rocky downlets down to the beaches, it can be pretty serious. Last thing you want to do is find yourself stranded in the middle of nowhere. The other thing to just bear in mind is that a lot of the fields and stuff are in use, they're farmers' fields. And you need to make sure you're like closing gates behind you and stuff. The last thing you want to be doing is letting a herd of cows out, or letting a herd of cows over a cliff edge or something, or because you just didn't bother to close a gate behind you. Well, I've just crossed the 20-kilometre mark. I think I might have been a little bit ambitious with a half marathon along the coast path today. Not only is it bloody hot, but all those hills and steep steps and stuff, they do take the toll. Oh, I can feel my pace dropping now. I am shattered. But what a beautiful day. Just what a lovely, lovely day out. So I'm at the end of the trail now. I'm not going to bother filming the bit up through the town back up to home, but I'd just like to say thank you very much for joining me on this beautiful Saturday and just enjoying some of the sights that this county has to offer. Till next time.